Okay, it's another one of those backyard garden trips, but before I should do this, let me just take you into something that I've updated. I've actually transplanted this poppy seedling. I think it's a different species of poppy, although I might be totally wrong. There's the other poppy seedlings, which I think the first small batch, unfortunately, it was being hammered because I think I should have actually waited a little bit longer for them poppy seedlings to actually grow a bit bigger. Yeah, that was my fault for actually chucking them straight away out into the backyard thingy. Of course, there's primrose. Nice, it costs about £1.95 to actually get it off from that garden centre out of King's Heath. And then we've also got the small tomato plant, which is no longer. I think the crops have failed to yield. Then we've also got these two spider plants. This one has done successfully, and look at that, it's actually grown some extra plants on it. I might have to try and transplant them things if I have some time, of course. But most importantly, I'm going to be heading downstairs to see what the garden has to offer. Okay, without looking like I'm about to take myself under control, without being taken by a shark, of course, and this is what so far I haven't really done many of these videos for a long time. I can tell you what though, guys, I've actually been straightforward, hey, such a big difference. We've got some pansies here, more geraniums, and look how massive, look how widespread the geranium has grown up to. It's massive. It is straightforward, whoppingly big. There are some more of these blossoming leaves and stuff here, which I believe might straightforward turn them into like flowers and all. Somehow I'm actually quite strangely shocked to see how much of this has been going on throughout my life. This is amazing. Like, man, the more when I look at geraniums, it just looks so amazing when they just grow so big and massively tall. That is very awesome. Ossifrums, fantastic. No flowers this time, but bit of buds showing up though. There's some fuchsia blossoms, which unfortunately they've actually been hammered by some very wet and cold weather of late. But I did give them a nice water today, so maybe it's probably best not to give them as much water as I thought I'll be. But as I'm heading outside, apart from the suddenly dead tomato plants here, we've got some balsams, we've got nasturtiums. Again, I'm just showing you what I've got in the backyard garden. That's what I've got. Lots of foxgloves. There's more of these plants I've just got no idea whatever the heck they are. I've got some weed activity. But my crocky Charlies, apart from some calendula seedlings, although despite how much I've watered, which it's great just to see them nicely flourishing right over my backyard garden. Sadly, some of them have actually they've actually have died off. Maybe I think one thing I haven't done was probably space the calendulas. I'm going to have to wait for about maybe next month to try and space them out. Or the next 2 months, depending on how much time before I fly back to Malaysia in mid-October. But most importantly, I'm going to be talking about the sunflower here. Amazingly, the next day, as I'm straightforward making this video, you can see that the sunflower has eventually changed into what it actually has become. And I'm just making some very good adjustments with the screen brightness tool. And there's a cat right here. Hello. Looks like you're very curious. Wonder what you're up to. What's up with cats right over my videos? Obviously, that's not my cat. That's actually someone else's. But, loves to be hanging around while being filmed. Whoa! Right. Straightforward admiring those plants that I've got to in the first place, man. It looks like he or she, I'm pretty sure it's a she. It's straightforward sniffing around for all sorts of gardening stuff and equipment that I've got so far. It looks like she's in charge of the whole place, and we've got a very horrid-looking wasp. I think wasps shouldn't actually be. I think they shouldn't be very well known for their stingy and stingy behaviors. That's probably how people mislead wasps. And I'm just flicking the brightness switch because I've got saliva on my tablet. My screen is filled with a little bit of saliva. My apologies for that point here, eh? And the cat is straightforward disappeared. But let me just go ahead and talk about this sunflower right here. It's beginning to develop like little bits of pollen. So that's nice. We've got little hoverflies and all that are straightforward attracted by this species of flower in particular. That is a very nice looking flower somehow. Yeah, and amazingly, it is of course one of the few flowers that has actually grown perfectly. It is somehow one of the best flowers I've actually have grown so far in my backyard garden. Such an amazing flower. And we've also got a plane. Strangely enough, I do a lot of plane spotting right at Birmingham Airport. Can I see it? Maybe I need to turn the brightness down. Oh yes, here it is. You know, I really do love a bit of plane spotting. I think that's an Airbus A321neo. They sound so much like 777s. And the cat, if I turn the brightness down, because we're going from a transition of being sunny to cloudy and then wet, has climbed up the fence and then has moved on to another neighbourhood. Now, talking about the sunflower, it's a little bit hard to get distracted. Strangely enough, what's been very phenomenal so far, as it's coming up towards autumn time, we're actually seeing a lot of wasp activity. What is that? We're just seeing, what are these critters? Are these flies? I can't really tell. They look very much, they look very beautiful. It looks like they were like mating on the wings. I can't really tell what these bugs are. They're quite beautiful. It's obviously, I think these two are mating. Strange enough, somehow. I think we've got two of them right here. I can't really tell what species of insects are they. They look like flies with a mixture. They look like, a little bit like flies that kind of look like dragonflies. If anybody what these bugs are, please leave in the comments down below. I'm pretty sure they look like hoverflies, but to me they look a little bit different. Very new species. I can't really tell what they are. But we've got lots of hoverfly activities right here. And apart from that, there's a little harlequin ladybird right over in that section here. And yeah, it's amazing that, to me, somehow as you look around at all kinds of different bugs and all. Oops, sorry, I think I've just handled it very cruelly. Strange enough, there's a lot of different plants right here. I think this one here is starting to fall apart. This poor old dandelion. I think this one's about to die off. But yeah, I could tell you what, my backyard garden has seen such a huge contrast. I'll tell you what, this backyard garden, I've got a funny feeling, and as sad as it sounds, it's about to die off, and I think from the next couple of months or so. Oh wow, I've got a pair of cormorants flying away. And that's something you don't see in everyday life. Cormorants, they look like pelicans flying away though. Just beautiful, big looking water birds. How amazing is that? And as I'm traversing around across through this amazing backyard garden I have, it's really, really awesome. We've got the plants straightforward taking over as much space as possible. You know, I'm actually sort of thinking when these plants sort of die off during, let's just say this year's winter, I hope they will disperse a lot of their own seeds, and then after that, they'll just straightforward, how would you call it, reproduce the same plants as what we had before. And that's nice to know, isn't it? We've got calendula right here. But as you can see, the calendula is straightforward. In fact, I did say I was going to leave it as some sort of seed head, but look at that. I think that's what it's going to be looking like. Becoming like some sort of seed head. I might leave it as it is for later blossoms this year, but we're getting like smaller blossoms at this time of the year because obviously the flowers have become a little bit smaller this time because, you know, I think the smaller the flowers, the more long-lasting they are. There's more balsam, and there's a wasp. Man, there are just so many wasps here that are actually just straightforward, collecting a bit of pollen that the flowers are literally from here. I think it's a bit of mint. I guess it's mint. Okay, so apart from mint, we've got some marigold. There's some more tomato seedlings, which have been performing very rubbishly because, you know, yeah, they just keep on bending. I forgot to bring in, like, wigwams and stuff. Maybe the next time I want to plant tomatoes, it'll be a great saga. Lovely. What is that? That is a nice little hoverfly pollinating on that flower next to the petunias. That's a beautiful looking flower. How cute is that? And guess who's just came back? Our friendly feline is just Whoa, careful there. Whoa. Looks like she's on the bolt. Just to the other side of my backyard garden. That cat is so agile, man. She's absolutely very, very, very stealthy and agile in whatever she does. Striding through the backyard garden. I don't think they're going to be active during this, winter, of course, because, they need to find, shelter and stuff. Right. As I'm looking around here, lots of lovely marigolds, beautiful colours and whatnot. Red, orange and yellow, all fiery colours and whatnot. Lovely petunias. Now, I can tell you what, my backyard gardening, my gardening activities have been straightforward, dissipated. And there you go, there's lobelia here. I'm actually really surprised of how much I've done so far. It's been quite amazing. And I think that's the sound of an airplane and not thunder. Always confusing, isn't it? Right. As I'm just having a look around here, there is a lot of hoverfly activity that are just making the most for what they're up to. There's a lot of wasp and hoverfly activity here because they're just pollinating. I can't see any bee activity yet, but I think that's what we've all got so far in this backyard garden. And apart from that, let's take a look at sunflower. So it's developed some little tiny pollinating thingies in the middle. And what would potentially be, after this moment, is that after pollinating, this flower will later transform into some sort of seed browser, like a seed-bearing plant, of course. Perfect for birds and for the next generation of other sunflowers. That would be amazing. Put on the back, you can see that this sunflower is actually eventually starting to die off, and that is the decay of what we're seeing. If I turn the brightness a bit down, you can see that there's hints of grey and a bit of moulding. So hopefully we're starting to see that as we're coming up towards autumn time. This flower is not going to be blossoming for a very long time. And I mean, that's very sad to hear. If you're a very beautiful sunflower like this, oh man, get those bubbling rays of sunshine back from, the summer that we just had. Oh, it's just sad, when summer just flies back in time, and then it turns into autumn. I mean, look at those trees on the background, man. It's just, whoa, don't turn the brightness, man. It's not summer. But there you go, look at them trees. All rusty with brown and yellow and gold and all that stuff, with orange and stuff, It's that time of the year. Everything's all starting to, become, a bit deciduous. As in, the time when abscission occurs. That's the process of when leaves start to fall. I can tell you what, this sunflower has really challenged so far. So much so that this was one flower that almost died off. And thank goodness it certainly has somehow done quite a very good job. Who knows, I could harvest it for some sunflower oil, but, such an awesome plant, and there's a hoverfly trying to pollinate it. Lovely, but I'm actually quite surprised that this sunflower is here to stay, but not for long. I'm really happy with what I've planted so far. Mind you, the challenge so far was to continuously garden. And well, it's not just a challenge. It's actually quite a very wonderful spirit to try and rehabilitate the garden just to make it all nice and fertile again. And this is what I've already have ended up with. Maybe, if I was being very unlucky here, apart from what I've just seen, from that side here, I could try and cover this section here with more in the way of greenery and stuff. I could try and do some more of it for next year and stuff, but hey, I might wait until next year's spring. Believe me, not next year's spring will be straightforward, even much more bustling with vegetation. I hope so, but anyways, yeah, so this sunflower here will, straightforward after being pollinated, will turn into a seed dispersing plant. Quite amazing, isn't it? Quite amazing to see how things just miraculously transform. I'm actually really happy that I'm making more videos like this, because I haven't done these types of videos for a very long time, with the machinery stuff on the background. I think it's a whippersnipper, isn't it? Anyways, I think I'm about to head back, because I'm about to do some exercising at the moment. for about roughly 30 minutes. So if you really enjoyed this video, please give this video a very good like, subscribe for more for flat videos in the future, and as always, thanks so much for watching. And as I'm walking undecidedly, bye for now.